community in the coming week. So I want to thank our entire creative community, artists, painters, dancers, musicians, who are taking part in the last days of 202 Creates, but the middle of Art All Week and Art All Night. So in the district, we are talking about the arts, the creative economy, and how creative people, creatives, can make a living right here in Washington, D.C. We're joined by Interim Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development, Keith Anderson. Keith, thank you for being here, as well as the Director of the Department of Public Works, Timothy Spriggs, the Anacostia Bid Executive Director, Christina Noel, Christy Whitfield, the Director of the Department of Small and Local Businesses. So thank you to the entire team. And we're here in the Great Ward 8 to celebrate Murals DC. It's a big week for the arts in DC, as well as Theater Week. Tomorrow, I will celebrate the Mayor's Arts Awards. And as I said, Art All Night. I know people will be looking across all 8 wards for all of the artistic activities happening. And today we are specifically celebrating investments in the arts in Ward 8. Earlier this year, we were with Murals DC in the bid to launch the new Anacostia Arts and Culture District. And now today we're launching a new feature, and that's the Arts to Go shuttle that you'll get a chance to see while we're here, and Christy will tell us more about it. I want to recognize our fantastic community partners, including Ian Collender, who owns the Sandlot, and the McKeedy Group, who donated wall space for Murals DC. Their partnership has allowed us to bring life to a 40-foot mural at the Sandlot, as well as a 4-story mural that will be coming to 1909 Martin Luther King Avenue. And by mid-October, we will be able to unveil more than a dozen new murals in wards 1, 2, 6, and 8. So the idea behind Murals DC is a simple one. Art keeps our community vibrant. Public art is essential to public life, especially in Washington, D.C. And our neighborhoods are less likely to be covered in not so pleasing graffiti when they're covered in very pleasing art. So I want to thank all the artists who are partnering with us, and we can't wait to celebrate more. So with that, I want to invite Director Spriggs to come and say more about Murals DC.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, for your morning support for DPW. I'm glad to be here to celebrating 16 years of Murals DC for the second time this year. I am proud that our agency, whose primary operation is so different as a core for what we usually do, to play such a critical role on Mayor Bowser's initiative. I also want to recognize Keith Anderson, the Interim Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development, to make all this possible. Keith, thank you for your support. I would also be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to Nancy Lyons, our DPW's PIO, who coordinates our Murals DC. That was a shameless plug, but nevertheless, it was a dutiful one because of what she does for part of this program. Washington, D.C. is one of the most visited cities in the world. Our goal is to produce the quality of public arts to help to attract visitors. We also support Mayor Bowser's mission to strengthen the local creative economy. Out of the 14 artist selectors, more than a dozen are from the DMV area and will be installing murals with programs this year. That's more local artists than we ever have had in this program. Federico, known throughout the community as Moss Paws, has painted murals for DC previously, as was well stated. It is a very rare special program that DPW is able to donate a wall to this. Several years ago, he brought his artistry to our West Virginia Avenue campus in Ivory City, where we maintain the city fleet. Since then, hundreds of our employees get to start it in their day enjoying the unique indigenous contemporary art style. So I want to thank you for that as well. When this season is completed, Mural DC will paint more than 20 murals in wards 1, 2, 6, and 8. We're excited to be partnering with the Anacostia bid this year, which has brought so many unique and innovative art culture experience to the Anacostia side. Much of Mural DC Anacostia work will concentrate near the intersection of Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue and Good Hope Road of the community. Including that will be Anacostia's largest mural on 1909 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue Southeast. You can follow DPW and Mural DC X, formerly known as Twitter, a social media account to track the mural projects live as it goes up. And remember, we're accepting wall donations year-round. Just send an email to mural.dc@dc.gov and request an application. We're now going to hear from Christina Knoll, Executive Director of the Anacostia Bid, who will give us a glimpse inside the new Art to Go shuttle. But right before she does that, Artist Moz will give the mayor some graffiti tips. Thank you all, and we'll now hear from Christina Knoll.
Thank you. Good morning. It's great to see everyone out here. Thank you, Ian, again for allowing us to be in your space. It's an amazing space. If you haven't been here for an event, make sure you make your way out here. Thank you, Mayor Bowser and the entire administration. I just want to say that there is no way that the Anacostia bid would have been able to create the Arts and Culture District, the Art to Go District, without the partnerships that we have. And Mayor Bowser's administration has been a supporter, and we would have not been able to do that without any of you. So all of your agencies, thank you so much for everything that you're doing to make sure that this Arts and Culture District is grounded, and it's not just a destination marketing piece. It's something that's going to live and survive and be sustainable. Our partnerships with our local artists have been phenomenal, and they've grown tremendously. And we have been able to, through our partnership with Murals DC, create this program that is going to open the door to multiple murals throughout the area. It's such a big deal, and this has not happened for our area, I don't think, ever in this way. So thank you again. I think there's going to be a lot of thank yous in this for you. We've also secured partnerships with corporations because of this movement, like Hershey. We were able to connect with Hershey because of this opportunity you've provided to do a mural in an area that's really needed it. And they provided $25,000 and paid that directly to one of our local artists to do an amazing mural. So we're going to continue to make those partnerships and leverage the opportunity that's been given to us. We've also been able to create with our local artists, it's called the Creative Collaborative. They came up with the name. So we commission artists, local artists, and they get us their artwork. We take it around everywhere we go, and if someone wants to purchase it, we connect them directly with that artist, and that artist makes that deal, and as soon as they let us know, we provide that artwork back to the artist for that purchase. So we've had multiple artists make a good amount of money. They're saying working with us is almost like a part-time job. So that's great to be able to do something like that. We want to get into the shuttle. Again, our partnership with the city, our partnership with Luis Peralta, one of our artists, our partnership with JJ, who is with the Ram J, and their drivers. When you look, you see they have the Art to Go outfits on. They're going to be driving you around. Local folks. And we have our We Are Anacostia mural on the shuttle. Unfortunately, the We Are Anacostia mural that the mayor spoke of has a lot of damage to it, and it has to come down. We've been trying to keep it up but it has to come down. The best way for us to hang on to it, we thought, let's put it on our shuttle because we know it's going to be here for a long time. So it's superimposed on there. We know it's a mural that the community and others embrace. So there it is, and you'll see that going up and down the street. When you have an opportunity, make sure you come and check it out. It is a free shuttle. It has limited stops. You'll be able to go to cultural locations, visit galleries, to shopping, metros, parking. It's just to make it a little bit easier to get around in a really cool shuttle. So thank you so much again, all of you, because we could not have done it without, I have to mention Alan Tubas with the National Capital Barbecue Battle. They gave us a huge area for the Art to Go Village last year, and it was amazing, and we were able to talk about all the great things, the great artists, our culinary here, I mean, photography, everything that's on this side, and a lot of people have come to check it out. So thank you, Alan, for that opportunity. All right, I'm done. I'm here, so I got a lot to talk about, but I'm going to stop now and hand this back out to
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I think we're going to see the shuttle. Is that right? Okay, let's do it. Oh, I'm taking Q&A. All right, I'm taking Q&A. All right, Q. Yes.
Is this is going to drive what up and down Martin Luther King? What's going to happen with this?
So it's going to make a 3.4 miles loop. So it's really important to make sure that people can get to our shopping from metros and parking lots. And so it'll stop at most of the parking lots that we have in the area. It'll run up Martin Luther King Avenue. It'll come back around. It'll go down past the UCC campus. It'll come back on Alabama Avenue to the both metros. It'll hit Skyland parking lot and back down Good Hope Road. So it's a big loop. And two for now. Two for now. We'll check it out and see how that goes, but 2 for now.
Other questions? Yes, Sam.
Mr. Mayor, well, I have a question, which is, I guess, off topic, but
Sure.
Obviously yesterday the city recorded, I guess officially, the 200th homicide, and yesterday I talked to a young woman who was over in the 5100 block of Fitch Southeast. And she was very emotional because a woman was found in the street, dead. And she was saying, she said, it is so rough for us. All we can do at this point is duck and cover. What can you say to folks like that who live in these areas where it is so rough?
Well, what we can say is, as a city, we all have to band together because none of us can be satisfied if we have neighborhoods or one ward or 2 wards that is experiencing the brunt of this violence. So it's so important, no matter where you live, that you're focused on a system that works. That includes providing better opportunities for folks, but it also includes holding people accountable who are using guns.
For example, if you look the numbers, and I may be a little off, but roughly most of the homicides, I think, are occurring on this side of the river. Do you need more police officers where the homicides are occurring?
We need more police, okay? You've heard me say that for 4 straight years. We need more officers. We don't have the officers that we need, and sadly, we've lost 300 to 400 officers in the last 4 years. We haven't had officers in our schools, and we have policies that make it difficult to recruit new officers. So yes, we need officers. The chief is very focused on deployment strategies that are following the crime trends. We're having issues with carjacking and robbery. She has deployed in a way that we think in the last 30 days is having some effect on those numbers. So we want to keep that going. I see a hand. Yes.
Mayor, along the lines of now 209 homicides, that's what police are reporting this morning. We were going back to some of the conversations previously had between you and other members of Fox 5 talking about crime, and it's been a lot of the same thing as you said, that you've been talking about more police officers for the past 4 years. More recently, what we're hearing from the acting police chief is that the issue has to do with illegal trafficking of guns and crew battles, crew violence in the city. We understand that DC Police are working with the ATF. We understand that DC Police are working with the U.S. Attorney's Office. But can you speak to what the plan is to address illegal guns in the city?
Well, that's not a new conversation. We've been talking about illegal guns. All of the comprehensive crime legislation that I have introduced deals with guns, gun crimes, felons in possession of guns, how the law should treat guns, how we should detain people who have used guns and are using guns again in our city. So that's not a new conversation. And I actually think what the chief has been focusing on, in fact, is the number of interpersonal conflicts that have led to gunfire and death. And those type of interpersonal conflicts are even tougher for the police to deploy resources to. But even with that, we know seemingly when a family's in trouble or where there are interpersonal conflicts, there are often warning signs that may show up at school, that may show up at a place of work, that could show up at a hospital visit. So all of the information that we can get in to give people resources before they end up in violent conflict is our focus.
But the illegal trafficking issue, though, can you say anything more to that part of it?
Well, I can tell you that we're always we don't have a legal gun problem in the district. We have an illegal gun problem in the district. Most of the weapons that are used to commit these crimes are already illegal, and so how they're coming in through various means. And so I think you know that MPD is always working with our federal officials, be it ATF or FBI or DEA, on investigations that involve large groups, high-level trafficking, drugs, money, guns. And so those are ongoing efforts.
Do you have any reaction to the information shared yesterday by the police chief that as she was preparing for the confirmation hearings, the roundtable today, that she came across 8 deaths that were unclassified and now those have been classified as murders?
Well, that's not unusual that a death may not be ruled a homicide at the time that it happens. And when it is ruled, it should be updated. And I think what the chief has said is that she wants it updated immediately upon the ruling. What do you mean?
That it's the same thing over and over and over again? Do you feel like we're in the movie Groundhog's Day here?
I can't say that I remember the movie Groundhog's Day, so could you make your question more specific?
The fact that we're still dealing with the same issues every year. Violence, getting resources to youth, open air drug markets, people saying that they're afraid to come out of their homes, that they're
Well, I don't know that there's any, if you can show me the cure to gun violence, we're all looking for it. We've had years that are better than others, and this is a bad year. I mean, I can't sugarcoat that, and I certainly wouldn't try to tell that to anybody who's listening to gunfire outside of their homes or who has lost a loved one. And so the thing I know about the interventions that we put in place over the years, over different eras, is that they will work. But we have to be very consistent with having the right personnel, the policies in place. And we can't be a community that doesn't have accountability for violence. And I'm afraid we've been that community for a few years, and we can't be that community.
What are you specifically thinking about?
Well, people commit crimes and they're not held accountable for crimes. Either they're not arrested, they're not prosecuted, or they're not penalized. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Yep.
Do you have any new initiatives going forward for the rest of the year and into 2024 to prevent all these murders?
I think what we're talking about is how do we take guns out of the hands of people who will use them, and how will we make sure that they're punished. I mean, we have hundreds of programs across all 8 wards in all of our schools and in neighborhoods that are experiencing the most crime. Any other questions? Thank you. All right, what's next? Okay.
Got the red glasses. Walk away.
Oh, my bad, bro.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.